And the last tip I have for you is to practice editing with no audio, and let me explain why. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 editing tips that will triple your editing speed. I know it's been a while since I made an editing video, but I'm back with a whole bunch of extremely useful tips that will honestly blow your mind. No matter how good of an editor you are, there are some secrets in this video that will help you become a lot faster. But just before the video starts, if you could drop a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And if you use code Flea in the item shop, it actually doubles your editing speed. So if you follow the tips in this video and use code Flea, it will quintuple your editing speed. Anyway, my name is Flea. Let's get right into it. Alright, and the first tip I got for you guys, and this is one I actually got from Raider464. If you guys aren't subscribed to Raider464, I highly recommend you go check him out right now. He's the fastest editor in Fortnite. So the first tip, nice and simple, but definitely something overlooked. What you want to do is you want to practice editing and selecting almost at the same time to get the fastest possible editing speed. So for example, if I just wanted to edit a window, what I'm going to want to practice is to never see the blue square in the middle. So what this means is that as soon as I'm editing the wall, I want to select at the same time. So if you practice this, what this will do is actually helping you get the perfect timing down for your editing speed. So you're not wasting time editing then selecting like this, you just want to make them instant. Once you got the timing down to the point where it feels like you're pressing them at the same time, then what you want to do after that is practice the opposite thing. So now you're editing the wall and you're going to select and confirm at the same time. So I'm going to see the wall and all of a sudden confirm. So you don't want to see the gray square. So first we're practicing editing and selecting at the same time. Now we're practicing selecting and confirming at the same time. And now if you join those two tips together, basically you'll never see a square on the wall. It'll just be an instant edit. Obviously my edits won't be the fastest because I do sit on around 60 ping, but basically the wall should only flash blue for like a millisecond. And then practice the same with resetting to get the fastest possible reset time as well. So the next tip I'm going to talk about, and it's one I've actually mentioned before, but I do want to touch on it again. It's about shortening your movement pathways. So for example, instead of doing a double edit like this, instead, what I want you to be doing is making the smallest path possible for the edit. So literally selecting from there to there and then confirming. Same thing with this, there to there. So then that should look like this. This is super helpful, especially for wall editing. I see a lot of people still swiping down to Narnia when they're doing their edits, rather than keeping their movement pathway as short as possible. Remember, you don't even have to grab anywhere near the middle of the square to do the edit. A lot of people think that you have to kind of go through the middle, when really you can honestly just grab the corner of each tile to do the edit. Now, one way to shorten your movement pathways that I've seen no one talk about before is actually getting better positioning and angles for your edit. What I mean by that is if you're doing a ramp edit and you're going to be swiping backwards like this, instead of being on top of the ramp and having to swipe all the way back there, then having to turn all the way back around to do the front edit, what you can do instead, if possible, is position yourself further away from the edit and at an angle that will make it easier. So instead of swiping back your whole screen to do the edit, all you have to do now is just grab the little corner there and just swipe it down like 2 centimeters. That's literally all you have to do that swipe back edit. So because I've positioned myself back further, it makes editing those tiles so much easier. And same with walls, the further back you are, the easier the edit's gonna be. So that was shortening your movement pathways. Now I'm going to talk about why you should hold select longer than you think. So I see a lot of people failing edits, and it's always because they're actually swiping and confirming before they reach the other side. So it looks something like this. So let's just say I'm swiping a ramp edit like this. I can actually stay holding select and then press confirm while holding select, and it still does the edit. So if you stay holding down select when pressing confirm, it's not going to slow you down and it's going to ensure you get that edit. It's also a big reason why people get door edits when they're doing the triangle swipe, because they'll edit 2 squares, let go of select and press confirm, and it does the door. So if you just hold select down for that little bit longer, you'll be able to get that 3rd square and nail the edit. Next tip I've seen no one really talk about, and this is pretty important for controller players, is knowing when to edit in build mode. So what this means pretty much is knowing when to edit with your pickaxe out and when you should be editing with your build mode out. And I do highly recommend you guys should practice editing with your build mode out. So this is what it would look like. So as you can see, I stay in my build mode when I need to, and I go to my pickaxe when I need to. And the main reason you'd want to switch to your pickaxe when editing is just because it's a lot safer. Because a controller has nowhere near as many buttons as a keyboard, a lot of controller binds actually overlap, so a lot of your building buttons will also be your editing buttons. So it's really easy if I try to wall edit in build mode. As you can see, I place a flat and a cone over my head. If I just do some wall editing again, see, as you can see, I placed a cone over my head because so many editing and build buttons actually overlap. For some edits, you definitely want to be swapping to your pickaxe, and a good example is when I place a floor and a cone. Because as you can see, if I just place the two and go edit, and when I edit the cone, it's going to edit the floor. And that's because I got the floor selected in my build menu, and it's going to want to edit the floor until I get a lot closer to the cone. Whereas if I had my pickaxe out, it'd let me freely edit the cone. So as you can see here, I'm clearly trying to double edit, and it's just editing back the flat. So editing in build mode can definitely be a lot faster, but sometimes a lot slower. The next tip I have for you, and this is one of the biggest ones that have helped me over the last couple of weeks, is to just relax your fingers. This may sound a bit stupid, but I guarantee you, instead of pressing the buttons as hard as possible like that, if you just relax your fingers and just let loose, they'll actually become a lot faster to press. If you're pressing the buttons down with heaps of force, it actually takes a lot longer for your fingers to come up off that force. But what's helped me easily double my editing speed is to just chill your fingers, just let loose, and just press the buttons fast but lightly. The difference this has made for me is huge, because not only am I editing a lot faster, but my fingers are a lot less fatigued, so I can edit for longer. And the last tip I have for you, now this is weird, so don't judge me on this, but this is the one secret that has been the most useful for me, is to practice editing with no audio. And this is a big one, especially for a high ping player like me, and let me explain why. So editing with audio, your brain automatically waits for the edit sounds in order to synchronize them with the button presses. When in reality, you don't want to be waiting for the sound of the confirm, you just want to be waiting for your fingers to press the confirm. Your only focuses when practicing your editing speed is what's on screen and what your fingers are doing. The audio is something that will throw you off, especially if there's a delay, because your brain will always be waiting for the sounds of the edits before your fingers do the next move. So if I have my headset on, normally when I confirm, I wait for the audio of the confirm before going on to the next edit. But without a headset, you don't have to wait for any audio cues. So instead of focusing on the audio confirm, you can now focus on when you actually pressing the confirm. Focusing on the button presses instead of the audio in game has easily doubled my editing speed. So now every time I want to warm up, I do it without audio, so I can focus on the timing of my fingers, then I'll put my headset on. Anyway, hopefully that made a bit of sense. The servers are offline now, but luckily that was the last tip. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. I hope you learned something new. If you made it to the end of the video, drop a fire emoji in the comments and let me know which tip was the most helpful for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.